Hello everybody, my name is Kami-san and welcome back to part 6 for the video walkthrough for Metroid Dread. So in the last video, we finally have taken on a Kraid, and we finally have also actually acquired various units in part 4. But now we're actually going to go ahead and actually acquire the next item that we actually need in the game. So you want to go ahead and head into the E.M.M.I zone. So you want to go ahead and head to the very top right of the map instead of the room. So you want to be careful with the E.M.M.Is of the yellow E.M.M.I, because as you can see here, I was not very careful. The yellow E.M.M.I spotted me. You want to go ahead. You actually want to utilize the magnet walls, because those magnet rail walls, because they're really useful. Now, if you want to reset the E.M.M.I's position, you want to go ahead, head back out of the E.M.M.I zone, and you want to head back in. So as you can see on my map, we're actually going to try to go all the way to the top right into that E.M.M.I door right over there. I think it's because that's actually where we need to head off to the next area, because that's one thing we have to do first. We actually have, as you can see from the room, everything is turned off. That's because there's actually a generator turned off. Now, as you can see here, I'm actually being careful because I want to wait for the E.M.M.I to actually go down. So as you can see, every time when the minimap actually starts flashing red, that means the E.M.M.I is close by. If it's not red, then you're obviously not, the E.M.M.I is probably not going to hear you. But in this case, with the yellow E.M.M.I, it's actually obviously going to probably hear us. Now you want to go ahead and blow up this bomb block right over here, and once you do, you want to go ahead and head to the top, all the way to the very far left. However, and once you do, actually no, I'm pretty sure, yep, I had to make sure. So once you do, you want to go ahead, head inside into this little small hole over here. Once you do, head all the way to the left, very far left. Once you get over here, you want to go ahead and head all the way to the top, and then once you already head all the way to the very top, you want to go ahead and take a door that will actually take you to the left. Beware of some of these enemies over here that will actually attempt to attack you. You can just attack. You can actually, as you can see, I tried to counter it, but I wasn't able to. But if you want to, you can actually just counter them, or you just want to shoot them off at a distance. It's up to you. But in this case, I'm just going ahead and head all the way to the left. And once you head all the way to the left, once you pass this map room, you want to keep going and all the way to the very far left. Over here, this is actually the generator room. You want to keep heading all the way straight down. But however, though, actually no, this is not generator room. This is part of it. So you actually want to go ahead, head all the way around, and head all the way to the very far right. Once you do, you'll actually be able to find the generator room. But however, though, you don't need to go all the way to the top. Once you find the generator room, the whole entire area from the very room that we actually just exit will actually have extreme cold temperature. So in this case, we can't go back out that way. But however, though, we can go to the area to our right side. Once we do, we'll actually be able to finally acquire a new item. So once you already open as you can see right here now, just if we try to go back the other way, then yeah, it's cold room now. And also, we're actually going to suffer damage, so we don't want to go that way. You want to go ahead and head all the way to the right, and once you do, you can actually go ahead and head all the way over here. Now, this actually once we actually turn on the generator, it'll actually trigger this new enemy over here, which is actually very, not very tough enemy, but rather I would just say it just has so much health that you can actually survive from a lot of our attacks, except for our counter attack, which is obviously much stronger. Now, instead, you actually want to go ahead and head to the part, as you can see, I went the wrong way. So you want to go ahead and head all the way to the top right, where we were just last time. As you can see, the red hatch is actually finally functional now, so we can actually have access into the room where we actually will get our special item, and that's going to be bombs. So as you can see here, now we're finally checking out the details for the bombs, but also now we can actually use them. Now, if you didn't know, there's actually a neat trick we can actually do with these. So if probably some of you probably have played the previous Metroid titles, we can actually play this. We can actually initiate this thing called the bomb jump. Bomb jumping is actually very useful because you can actually, if you time it correctly, you'll actually be able to actually gain some height and possibly have access to areas that would actually require you to use the space jump. So once we already have acquired the bombs, you want to go ahead and head to the very door on the far left. But however, though, if you're low on health or you need to stock up on some missiles, you go ahead and defeat this robot enemy over here with a counter. Using a counter will actually give you a ton of not only energy points, but also energy orbs, but also missiles as well. So you want to go ahead and head all the way straight down. You want to be careful of these enemies, laser bots over here that will actually try to hurt you, but as you can tell, just simply countering them will just going to be very useful. If you want to save, there's actually going to be a save room right over here, but if you don't want to save, you want to continue along, that's fine with you. That's fine with me. It's up to you. once you go ahead and initiate, once you go ahead and like get use the bomb to actually get the bomb launcher to get over here, you want to be aware of the yellow E.M.M.I. So we're actually going to need to head all the way straight to the very far down to the next room that's going to be down. So you want to go ahead and head all the way straight down. Make sure that you actually destroy those alarm enemies, those alarm bots, because those alarm bots will actually cause a lot of explosion, otherwise and alerting the yellow E.M.M.I. So once you already have gotten to this area, this part of the area of the E.M.M.I. zone, you want to go ahead and head like straight out to the E.M.M.I. zone, and you want to go ahead and head into this area. Beware of these enemies over here, because as you can see, there's actually some water over here for some odd reason. However, though, like I said before, you can actually evade them by just rolling past them. I mean, it's up to you. But as you can see before, I'm kind of getting a little reckless over here. So once you head all the way to the very far left, we're actually going to be coming on to this transportation area over here. And it turns out this actually will take us to a new area known as Burenia, which is actually going to be more like an underwater area of the ZDR. Now, once you already head into Burenia, everything's gonna be water. So obviously, we're gonna have we're actually gonna have a hard time, because obviously we don't have a special suit that we actually need, which is actually gonna be the gravity suit, because the gravity suit is very, very useful in the game that we need. And that's obviously actually the gravity suit is very useful in every Metroid title. So once we go ahead and finally arrive at Burenia, as you can see, everything's underwater. But that's not going to stop us, as you can see, because we're obviously going to need to acquire something first. Now you want to go ahead and head all the way to the very far left, and as you can see, everything, like I said before, everything's underwater, so just be prepared to have some patience. So as you can see, you want to go ahead and beware of these enemies over here. They'll actually attempt to pull you in with their vortex, because they actually will do that. Now, as you can see, those special diamond shaped blocks are actually going to be known as grapple blocks, because they're actually very different. Yeah, you want to be careful with these enemies over here, with these vortex enemies over here, because when they attempt to pull you in, I mean, in a way they're dangerous, but like if you use a bomb, I mean, obviously they're gonna get destroyed by the bomb very easily. So you can actually just do that instead, if you will. Beware of this enemy over here, because this enemy actually deals a ton of damage from, actually not a lot of damage in normal mode, but if you play hard mode, if you will, and it'll actually do a ton of damage. However, though, as you can see, this thing is actually immune, so we can't really do anything to damage this enemy, because we actually are going to need the grapple hook, because the grappling hook that's actually going to be very useful. Head all the way straight down to the door. As you can see, we're actually going to head into the first computer room of Burenia. Now, Adam is actually going to tell us what we need to do in this case.
Uploading data. The lower levels of Burenia are mostly submerged. You will need your gravity suit to operate there at full efficiency. Abilities such as the grapple beam or space jump will help you maneuver underwater to an extent. Find them as soon as possible.
Alright then, so once you finally regain control of yourself, you want to be aware of these enemies. This enemy over here that will actually launch out a ton of its enemies at you. By doing so, you want to go ahead and make sure that you do not, and I mean you do not die at all. Just be careful, because these enemies over here will actually deal some damage. Will actually deal some damage to you, but they're not gonna like insta kill you. So you want to go ahead and head all the way straight down. If you want to, you can actually blow up this bomb block over here, but like this is just only like an additional area that we may not have to come back to. Again, that's up to you. So you want to go ahead and head all the way straight to the very far right. And once you do, you want to go ahead and head all the way straight to the top, to the very bottom over here. I only went to the top right because it's actually going to be, we can actually get a missile over here. If you want to, you can actually get this, but if you don't want to, I mean, that's up to that. You can just pass on, head all the way straight down to the very far right where we're supposed to go. So you want to go ahead and blow up this this bomb block over here. Now you want to go ahead and perfectly time like you just want to like perfectly time an unmorph, because once you do, you can actually go ahead and just grab onto the ledge and still make it your way there, but it's easier said than done, to be honest. So you want to go ahead and head all the way straight down to the very far to the bottom area. As you can see, that we're actually going to get over there. And you can see I'm actually kind of having a bit of a hard time, because I'm trying to jump into the morph ball hole without having to just pull myself up. And as you can see here, Adam is actually very correct. We do actually need the gravity suit to actually fully be efficient with with obviously we're just getting around Burenia, because obviously this water theme area is very annoying. As you can see here, there's actually going to be a trapdoor, the trapdoor over here, which as you can see here, trying to get through this door is impossible. However, though, if you want to, you are able to actually do a very tight but also very hard bomb jump method over here. Because if you actually stay above the door for like right about this position where I placed the bomb 2 times there, if you stay up there for possibly about, I would say 3 seconds, then the door will actually open. However, though, as you can see in this case right now, I actually will not show you how to actually I'll actually not show it right now, because I'm just going to show you where to go if you can go anywhere else. Now, as you can see here, we're actually this is actually just to be a safe room over here, but instead you want to go ahead and head all the way to the very bottom over here. So you can see the red hatch door. That's technically where we need to get a new item over there. That's actually going to be an item known as the flash shift. The flash shift is, as if you will, it was actually featured in the trailer of Metroid Dread. However, though, that Aeion ability will actually be very useful, but you obviously will need to actually get it somehow. And the way to do it is just that you'll need to actually head all the way to the very far right in order to get it. Now, as you can see over here, I was trying to actually, I had some technical difficulties, so sorry if you're seeing that's the white outline over there. Please ignore that. But once you actually head down to here, you actually want to head all the way to the very far right over here. Those actually open up. So as you can see here, you just basically want to jump from the very top, from where we were standing, all the way down over here to the right. What to do? You actually want to go ahead and head up to the door, because heading up to the door will actually take us over there. But however, though, this is just heading up to this area over here will actually take us to where we need to go, and that's actually going to be right over here. So once you do, you want to go ahead and head all the way to the very far top right. And once you do, you'll actually need to like head all the way up over here. So that we'll finally be able to come across the hatch door in order to get a flash shift. So once you finally regain control, we can now see that the flash shift ability is very useful. So with the flash shift ability, you're actually able to actually move around very fast, like to either left or right. However, if you just press the A button while moving, then you just only initiate one shift. If you hold down the A button and you move left and right, you can flash shift up to 3 times. Either left right, or right left, or left left, or left or right. So as I said before, you can only flash shift 3 times. However, though, this ability is going to be very useful when we're trying to get around. As you can see, we couldn't get that energy tank right over there. Now we're able to get it because right over here, these blocks over here are actually going to be unbreakable blocks that will actually break if we fall down. As you can see over here, now we can actually, as you can see, like I said before, we needed a flash shift in order to get that energy tank. Now we can get the energy tank without much of a problem. Now we're actually able to get through that door over here, because that door over here was actually impossible to access, but now we're actually able to, because that door was very difficult. Because why? We couldn't get through it because of not having the flash shift ability. But now that we can, now we're actually able to get into another area that we couldn't access before. And also, if you ever need to get away from the enemies, I highly recommend using the flash shift. The flash shift will be a very useful ability to get away from the enemies. If you're ever cornered at all, just make sure that you are not at the same height of the enemy. Otherwise, if you bump into it, and if you actually flash shift into the enemy, you will actually automatically engage in the counter. The counter window, because obviously, as you all recall, you need, well, any direct contact with the enemy will actually result in initiating the counter cutscene that we actually need to be able to escape from the enemy. But with the flash of ability, like I said before, you just need to make sure that you're not you're not on the floor with the enemy, because if you are, then you're obviously gonna get captured. Now you want to go ahead and head all the way to the far right over here, as right over here at the top right we'll actually not be able to see anything over here. Sadly, I got a little confused, but I'm sorry. Okay, jokes aside. So you want to go ahead and head all the way back to the top left over here. But however though, if you want to, you can actually time out a good bomb jump over here. But however though, I'll just show you like where to actually go to actually get up here. So you want to go ahead and head all the way back to where we were just opened with the area that's filled with water. Now you want to go ahead and blast that bomb block. And once you do, you can actually go ahead and take this transportation back to Burenia, not Burenia, but like to where we went, and that was like Dairon. So somehow, as you can see, now we're actually able to get access to the central unit that we weren't able to access to finally defeat the yellow E.M.M.I. So once we have arrived at Dairon, now we can actually finally take on the yellow E.M.M.I, not without the Omega Canyon. So now we're actually able to, with the flash of ability, we're actually able to get across areas much faster. But as you can see here, now we'll actually be able to finally have access to the central unit. So as I said before, you want to be very extremely cautious with the yellow E.M.M.I. As I said before, the yellow E.M.M.I contains the speed booster ability, which will actually obviously make it much faster than any other E.M.M.I, obviously making it much more of a threat. So as you can see over here, if you notice that the E.M.M.I was about to like was about to go into the crawl space. That's because obviously, if you want, that's because it reset, because apparently Nintendo wanted you to actually try to get away from the yellow E.M.M.I and hide from it. So as you can see here, the yellow E.M.M.I will actually make an attempt to find you underwater. Of course, it is immune to water for some reason, which I'm not sure how robots function, but apparently this robot is able to function underwater. Okay, jokes aside, the yellow E.M.M.I is very dangerous underwater, because obviously it will move much faster than you. It will still move a little faster than you, but actually still keep up with the same speed as us. However though, as you can see, there's a little small space area right there that will actually help you out in hiding away from the E.M.M.I. So you want to go ahead and head all the way to the very top left, not to the top left, but rather to the very bottom left over there where the E.M.M.I was there. As you can see, I got caught. However though, if you time perfectly a jump like that, the way I just did there, you can actually get away from the E.M.M.I. If you want to get down faster, use the morph into a morph ball in order to actually get down from the E.M.M.I. Make sure you have Aeion, full Aeion, otherwise you won't be able to get away from the E.M.M.I without using your Fantacle. Now as you can see here, we actually need to get into the central unit, but not this way. So we're actually going to need to go that very specific spot right over here. This will actually take us into the area where we need to gain access to the central unit. Now as you can see here, once the yellow E.M.M.I finally disappears, you want to wait until it finally moves away. Once it's actually out of your minimap, you want to go ahead and actually uncloak your Fantacle ability. But still, make sure you give yourself enough time to be able to regain Aeion, otherwise you won't be able to actually get away from the E.M.M.I, and you'll obviously automatically be caught. As you can see here, I'm just being very patient. So obviously with the enemies, you don't ever want to be very rushed. You not ever want to rush things. You want to make sure that you actually get away, and just make sure that you become very patient and wait for it to actually move out of the area. Once you don't hear the enemy at all, you can actually go ahead, head right to the very far left. As you can see, those blocks actually require special items to actually get there. That's actually obviously the speed boost. Now, if you want to go ahead and carefully use your arm cannon aiming to be able to see down a little bit. So once you actually gain access to this room, you want to go ahead and head to the very top right of the area to be able to gain access to the central unit. Make sure you be very careful. Now, as I said before, you want to be very careful, and the enemy can still be lurking around anywhere in this area. Once you enter into the 100 units area, you want to go ahead and actually start blasting missiles at it. Once you do, you'll actually be able to finally take it out. And once we do so, you'll be able to get the Omega Cannon as usual. Now, as you can see here, you just want to go ahead and just keep spamming. You want to keep going ahead and keep shooting all on the wide beam, because otherwise, I mean, you'll kind of like take a little more time with just shooting cannons. But as you can see, rapidly shooting beams will actually will actually destroy the central unit much faster. So once you've already have obtained the Omega Canyon, now we can actually take on the E.M.M.I, but be very careful, because the E.M.M.I can still use its speed ability. So my recommendation is to head to this very far center of the room, because it's very useful to actually just get a good clear shot using a bit of lower level. All right then. So now we have obtained the Omega Canyon. You want to be very careful. The E.M.M.I will actually appear from the very far left. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you get away from it. No, you want to make sure that as you can see here, the E.M.M.I is getting too close. So you want to make sure you use your flash shift ability to get away from it. So you can actually go ahead and use this lower level area like that. But however, as you can see, I got a little too hasty. Now, if you want to go ahead. You can actually time a good morph ball jump into the crawl space, but you don't have to. But still, it's better to like just grab on and just pull yourself in. As you can see here, you want to have the enemy position and come at you in this specific area, so that once you do, it'll actually slowly come after you. Of course, now we've actually forced it to crawl out of safe position, and now now we can actually destroy it. And now we can finally obtain our new ability known as the Speed Booster. Alrighty then, so we finally have obtained the Speed Booster ability. The Speed Booster is actually a very useful ability, because in this case in Metroid Dread, we actually have a little more accessibility to this particular ability. Not to mention, there's actually more to it. Now, simply, you can actually just initiate the Speed Booster by just actually pressing down on the left control stick, and it's very simple to actually do. However, though, you just need to make sure you have enough space to actually get into the area. Now, as you can see, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you how to get into a small area over here. And I'll actually explain the Speed Booster a little bit, but I will also release a video in depth on how to use the Speed Booster carefully. Now, as you can see here, you can actually jump off of walls over here and also slide down. But also, you can actually do this. If you want to get this missile tanking special over here. I will tell you this: it's very difficult to do this, but actually no, not difficult. But however, though, it still requires room. Now, as you can see, the movement and everything I did is that if you actually wall jump off from walls while maintaining your speed boost, you can actually still keep it going. However, though, if you want to do this, you actually want to crouch down to initiate and press B to initiate a Shine Spark. Actually no, you want to go ahead and when you crouch down, you can actually initiate a Shine Spark. By initiating a Shine Spark, you actually are able to launch yourself in any of the 8 directions: up, left, down, right, up, left, up, right, down, left, down, right. And by doing so, you're actually able to like get through any of the areas. So as you can see here, getting through like this small area over here, I can actually I kind of failed here, but you can actually like if you want to, you can actually speed boost yourself like all the way down, all the way to get over here. But if you want to, I mean, you can just simply do this. Now, this speed booster is actually very useful, because we can actually go ahead and head all the way, launch yourself to the very far right, as you can see, which is actually much faster. Now, guys, I will actually see you in part 7 on the Metroid Dread walkthrough. I'm Okami-san, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave a comment down below if you need some help, and please like the video and give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in part 7. Take care, guys.
All right then, just careful. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Okay, at least I know where I'm going. But something tells me otherwise. Oh gosh. Oh, I hit a dead end. Okay. Well, I If I ever get caught, I can do it like this. That will only work for hiding. Okay. No! How did you find me? Oh, get away, 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 get away. Now I see why this was useful. Okay, okay, okay. I can make, no, I'm just gonna run away. I'm just gonna run away. Get away, get away, get away. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, come on. This, I was about to escape. Oh, just get away, get away, get away, get away. Oh, that makes sounds too. Okay, just get away, just get away, get away, get away, get away. Get away, get away. Oh, come on! Oh, okay, okay, just quick maneuver. It's still the same thing again. Okay, maybe let's make this way back. Oh my gosh, this is a dead end. This is a dead end. No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. No, no, no. Wait, second time. Here we go. Ah!